Hey, I see you out there hustling, grinding, putting in the work. You're passionate, you're dedicated, but sometimes it feels like you're stuck in the shadows. Others blowing up online, their notifications going crazy, their follower count skyrocketing. And you're thinking, what am I missing? Why not me? Trust me, I get it. We've all been there. You pour your heart and soul into your content, your product, your message. You're posting every day, engaging with your audience, trying every trick in the book, but the results just aren't matching the effort. It's frustrating, it's demoralizing, and it can make you want to throw in the towel. But hold on, because I'm about to let you in on a little secret. It's about understanding the psychology behind what makes things go viral. Sinners didn't just stumble into success. They didn't win some marketing lottery. They strategically used psychology, understanding what makes people tick, what captures their attention, and what makes them hit that share button. And the best part, these strategies aren't exclusive to Hollywood blockbusters. They're applicable to you, your brand, your message, whatever it is you're passionate about. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to break down the exact psychological tactic that fuels Sinners Rise to the top. This isn't just about getting more likes or views. It's about building a loyal tribe, a community of passionate individuals who resonate with your message and become your biggest advocates. Let's rewind for a second and talk about Sinners. It was a film with a limited budget, a relatively unknown cast, and a controversial theme. On paper, it had all the makings of a box office flop, but something incredible happened. Sinners tapped into the power of psychology, igniting a firestorm of online buzz, generating heated debates, and ultimately captivating audiences worldwide. They say controversy sells, and in the case of Sinners, it became the catalyst for their meteoric rise. But it wasn't just about stirring the pot. It created an experience, a conversation, a movement that people wanted to be a part of. All right, let's break down the first brilliant move the creators of Sinners made. They understood a fundamental principle of human psychology. We are hardwired to crave what we don't have, to solve mysteries, and to fill in the blanks. Think about it. Haven't you ever been more drawn to a movie trailer that leaves you with questions than one that gives everything away? That's the power of the unknown at play. Our brains hate a void. So when we're presented with incomplete information, we can't help but try to piece it together. And that's exactly what the creators of Sinners tapped into. They held back. They created intrigue. Now, you might be thinking, hold on, isn't that risky? Won't people lose interest if I don't show them everything up front? Here's the thing. It's the opposite. Think about the most addictive TV shows, the most anticipated product launches, the most buzzworthy events. They all excel at building anticipation, creating a sense of excitement and intrigue. That's because when you tease information strategically, you're not just giving people a preview, you're inviting them to participate, to become part of the story. And that's a powerful thing. So, how do you apply this to your own brand, your own message? Here's the key. Embrace the power of less is more. Instead of overwhelming your audience with information, think about how you can create a sense of mystery, a desire to learn more. Instead of giving away all your secrets in one go, could you release a series of behind the scenes videos or images that hint at something bigger to come? Share cryptic messages or quotes that spark curiosity and get people guessing. Host Q&A sessions where you answer some questions but leave others unanswered. Teasing future reveals. Create a countdown timer on your website or social media, building anticipation for a launch or announcement. Don't underestimate the power of a little mystery. Now let's talk about another bold move the creators of Sinners made. They didn't shy away from controversy. They ran straight towards it, embracing the heat. Remember, Sinners dealt with religious themes, a topic that's bound to spark debate. But instead of playing it safe, instead of trying to please everyone, they leaned into the controversy. They knew that a little bit of friction could create a wildfire of attention. And in the world of online marketing, conversation is king. Now, I'm not saying you need to go out and start arguments for the sake of it. But what I am saying is this: don't be afraid to stand for something. Don't be afraid to have an opinion, even if it ruffles a few feathers. Because when you have a strong point of view, when you're willing to take a stand for what you believe in, you attract people who resonate with that energy. You attract people who are tired of the bland, the boring, the safe. You attract people who are hungry for authenticity, for passion, for something real. Remember, it's better to be polarizing than to be invisible, because even the people who disagree with you, they're still talking about you. So, how can you apply this to your own brand? Start by asking yourself, what do I believe in? What are the values that drive my business? What are the conversations that I'm not afraid to have? Once you've identified those core principles, don't be afraid to weave them into your message. Don't be afraid to take a stance, to challenge the status quo, to spark a healthy debate. And when you do that, you'll find that your audience becomes more than just passive consumers. They become passionate advocates, eager to share your message with the world. Now, let's talk about a subtle but incredibly powerful strategy that Sinners nailed: timing. They didn't just release their film at any random time. They strategically chose Easter weekend. Now, you might think that's a risky move, releasing a movie with potentially controversial themes during a major religious holiday. But it was a calculated risk that paid off big time. Why? Because they understood the power of relevance. They knew that during Easter weekend, people are already thinking about themes of sin, redemption, and spirituality. They're primed and ready to engage with content that speaks to those ideas. Sinners didn't try to force their message on an uninterested audience. They waited for the perfect moment, the moment when their message would resonate the most, and then they struck. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how certain topics, certain ideas, certain trends seem to dominate the conversation at specific times of the year? It's like riding a wave. If you can catch the wave at the right time, you can ride it all the way to the shore. But if you miss the wave, you're left paddling in the shallows. That's the power of timing in marketing. Sinners could have released their film at any time of year, but by choosing Easter weekend, they tapped into a pre-existing wave of interest and rode it to massive success. So how can you apply this to your own brand? Start by asking yourself, what are the key moments, the holidays, the events, the cultural conversations that are relevant to my audience? When are they most receptive to my message? For example, are you in the fitness industry? Consider launching a new program or challenge in January, when everyone's focused on New Year's resolutions. Do you sell products related to travel or adventure? Target your marketing efforts around summer vacation or the holidays. Are you passionate about personal finance? Share your expertise during tax season or when people are setting financial goals. The key is to be strategic, to be observant, and to always be thinking about how you can align your message with what's already on your audience's mind. Now, let's talk about one of the most crucial aspects of Center's success, something that goes beyond simple marketing tactics. They understood the power of community. They didn't just want viewers, they wanted active participants, engaged fans who felt like they were part of something bigger than themselves. They knew that in today's digital age, it's not enough to simply broadcast your message to the masses. You need to create a space where people can connect, engage, and share their passion for what you do. Sinners didn't just throw their movie out into the world and hope for the best. They actively cultivated a community around it. Think about it. Why do people join online communities? Why do they spend hours engaging with strangers who share their interests? Because we, as humans, have a fundamental need to belong. We crave connection. We crave a sense of shared purpose. And we crave a place where we can be ourselves without judgment. Sinners tapped into this primal need by creating a space where fans could come together, geek out over the movie, debate theories, and share their love for the story. It wasn't just about watching a movie. It was about being part of a movement, a community of like-minded individuals. This sense of belonging is incredibly powerful. So, how can you foster this sense of community around your own brand? Here are a few key takeaways. Create a dedicated online space, whether it's a Facebook group, a Discord server, or a subreddit. Give your audience a place to connect and engage with each other. Encourage interaction. Ask questions, run polls, and respond to comments. Show your audience that you're listening and that you value their input. Highlight your fans. Feature user-generated content. Share testimonials and give shout outs to your most loyal followers. Make them feel seen and appreciated. Create a shared language. Develop a unique hashtag, inside jokes, or catchphrases that your community can rally around. It creates a sense of identity and belonging. Remember, building a community takes time and effort. All right, let's talk about the heart of what made Sinners a runaway hit. The secret sauce that took them from a good film to a cultural phenomenon. They understood a fundamental shift happening in the way we consume, a move away from simply buying products to seeking out experience. Think about it. We're bombarded with choices every day. Countless products and services, all vying for our attention and our wallets. It's not enough to just offer a good product anymore. You need to create an experience that people remember, an experience they want to be a part of, an experience they want to tell their friends about. Sinners cracked the code. They didn't just sell a movie ticket. They sold an experience. They created a world that people wanted to step into, a conversation they wanted to join, a movement they wanted to be a part of. Now, you might be thinking, that's all well and good for a movie, but what about my business? I sell your product service. How do I create and around that? This is where things get really interesting. It's about looking beyond the transactional and tapping into the emotional. Ask yourself, what does your audience care about? What are their passions, their values, their aspirations? How can you align your brand with those deeper desires? For example, maybe you sell coffee, but you're also passionate about sustainability. Create an experience around ethical sourcing, fair trade practices, and environmental consciousness. The key is to find the emotional core of your brand, the why behind what you do, and then create an experience that brings that to life. Remember, people don't just buy products or services. They buy into stories. They buy into emotion. And most importantly, they buy into movement. Think about the brands that have achieved cult-like followings. They're not just selling products. They're selling a way of life, a set of values, a vision for the future. They've created a movement that people are proud to be a part of. And that's what you need to do. So we've covered a lot of ground today, from the psychology of curiosity to the power of community. But if you take away just one thing from this whole conversation, let it be this: marketing that moves people, marketing that creates a real impact, isn't about tricks or gimmicks. It's about understanding what makes people tick. It's about tapping into those deep-seated human desires for connection, belonging, and meaning. The creators of Sinners understood this, and they used it to turn a small, independent film into a cultural phenomenon. And here's the thing, you can do the same. No matter what your industry, no matter your budget, no matter your follower count, you have the power to create a movement around your brand. Think back to the strategies we talked about. Could you create a sense of mystery around your next product launch, dropping teasers and hints that spark curiosity? Could you embrace a little bit of controversy, taking a stand for something you believe in and sparking a conversation? Could you tap into the power of timing, aligning your message with key moments and cultural conversations that are relevant to your audience? And most importantly, could you build a community around your brand, a tribe of passionate supporters who feel seen, heard, and valued? These are the questions that will take you from ordinary to extraordinary. This isn't just about getting more likes or selling more products. It's about creating something that matters, something that connects with people on a deeper level. Now, I know what you're thinking. This all sounds great, but how do I actually put it into practice? Where do I start? I've got you covered. I've put together something special for you, a comprehensive guide It breaks down all these strategies and more. It's called The Ultimate Guide to AI in Digital Marketing, and it's packed with actionable tips, tools, and resources to help you level up your marketing game and create a movement around your brand. This isn't just another ebook, it's your roadmap to success in the digital age. It's about harnessing the power of technology, understanding the psychology of your audience, and creating a brand that people are truly passionate about. Are you ready to unlock your full potential?